Mark Morgan ran CBP under former President Trump. He joins me now along with Gene Hamilton, a former Trump senior immigration official. Guys, good to have you back on. Mark, let's talk about this deal, as they call it. Biden and Schumer, after destroying our border for 3 years, have somehow duped the rhinos, I guess, into a deal that would totally absolve them of their behavior that we've seen since 2021. What are your thoughts on the compromise?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Rob. Look, this is by no way is a serious border security bill. This is a win for the cartels, the Biden administration, the NGOs, and sanctuary cities. And right now, look, I don't want to impugn the senators that worked on this. I don't want to impugn their actions or their motives. But what I am going to go after is what they're actually saying. And I'll give you one example. Right now, Senator Lankford and the others that are supporting this are saying that it ends catch and release. Rob, I'm telling you right now, national TV, that is a lie. That is absolutely not true. They've redefined the definition of detentions. They're calling it non-custodial detention. And they think the American people are so stupid, they're going to think, oh, well, we're not releasing him, when that's exactly what it means. Once again, we're back. If you're an unaccompanied minor, you're a family, and you come to our border, you're going to be released. And if they want to release single adults under this new authority, they're going to do it.
I don't get it. And Gene, help to open my eyes. I mean, I've had James Lankford on this show. Yeah, I like him. Trump said in the interview, he's a nice guy. He seems to be a generally conservative person. If this is such a farce, are they duped, or is there an agenda here that I'm not understanding? What is happening here?
Look, I think that some folks on the right might have entered into this with the best of intentions, and they've had the wool pulled over their eyes by the Biden administration. This bill looks exactly like one you would expect to come from Alejandro Mayorkas and Joe Biden. What this bill does in multiple ways, in addition to the things that Mark talked about, is it essentially codifies a regulation that they've tried to pass right now, an illegal regulation that multiple state attorneys general are challenging, that would allow Biden and his bureaucrats to grant asylum, which provides a pathway to a green card and citizenship to countless tens of thousands of aliens at our borders, people who shouldn't be qualifying. But we all know the way that this is going to go. This bill is a recipe for disaster. It doesn't end catch and release. The emergency authorities are ineffective and, quite frankly, inefficient. And at the end of the day, this is worse than current law. As President Trump said in the prior segment, you can use existing law to fix the problem. We don't need this pile of garbage that's been piled onto us by the Senate.
I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get how. It just seems like I don't understand how Washington works, I guess, at the end of the day. You know, here's Biden, Mark, claiming that he, talk about things that don't make any sense. Here he is claiming again, doubling down on the statement from last week, that he somehow needs to be given power by Congress to stop doing what he's been intentionally doing all by himself for the last 3 years. Take a listen.
The border, I've been asking since the first bill I introduced was on the border. We don't have enough agents. We don't have enough folks. We don't have enough judges. We don't have enough folks there. We need help. Why won't they give me the help?
How do you respond to that, Mark?
Look, either he's intentionally lying to the American people, or he simply is clueless and doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's keep in mind the first couple of months in this administration, at the stroke of his pen, he instituted 94 executive orders that totally dismantled the network of tools, authorities, and policies that President Trump had put in place to achieve the most secure border in our lifetime. He could take that same pen and roll them back, which would reinstate the Asylum Cooperative Agreements, reinstate the Remain in Mexico program, reinstate construction of the border wall. I could go on. He could do all of those things without any action from Congress. And Rob, I'm telling you, if he did that, you would see 85% of the illegal immigration go down overnight. They're just lying to the American people every time they open their mouths on border security.
Gene, here's Kirsten Sinema, Arizona. This is the defense of this bill, and we've been hearing a lot of this. Take a listen.
Large numbers of migrants are approaching the border and being processed and kind of released into the country. Our law changes that and ends the practice of catch and release. We'll no longer have people just entering the country and maybe going to court in the next 7 or 10 years. Instead, we'll make swift justice. Folks who do qualify for asylum will be on a rapid path, 6 months or less, to start a new life in America. And those who do not qualify will quickly be returned to their home countries. We believe that by quickly implementing this system, individuals who come for economic reasons will learn very quickly that this is not a path to enter our country.
Gene, was that all lies or at least disingenuous? What was it? How do you explain it?
Look, I think she's just been poorly informed. She has no idea what she's talking about. I have read this bill in great detail. What this bill does is it facilitates catch and release in the ordinary course of events. So they came out, as Mark said earlier, and they came out with a new program. That puts people in a non-detained setting that requires their release from custody when they come to the border. It provides them with access to an employment authorization document if they pass a threshold screening. It goes on and on and on. The incentives that she is talking about economic migrants, look, this is what every single illegal alien coming to the United States wants. They want the ability to come into the United States, be released, and be able to work. That's all it comes down to. What this bill does is it helps those people do that. And even under the emergency authorities that are triggered when there's more than 5,000 people a day, look, the administration has the ability to accept tens of thousands of people if it wants to from that. Joe Biden can suspend that authority if he wants to. And it's also time limited in duration for each of the 3 subsequent years after its passage. So they can't even use it all the time. It is absurd. It's a paper tiger. These people have all been misled, and it's all because of Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas and their teams that schemed behind the scenes in the backs of the American people to turn this disaster and put it on us and show it as though that Republicans are wrong for opposing it.
Yeah. Well, you just saw, we had the Trump interview tonight, and, right out of the gate, he sent a pretty strong warning to Republicans in the Senate. I don't think it's even going to get brought to the floor in the House, but in the Senate, he effectively said if you're a Republican senator and you sign off on this bill, it's probably going to be the end of your career because it's that bad. Those words don't come lightly. And that's already blowing up all over Twitter. I saw it as I was watching that interview from earlier today with the rest of you. So, Mark Morgan, Gene Hamilton, good to see you guys. Yeah.
You bet.
Well said. Thank you, Mark. We appreciate it. All right. Thanks, guys.